Hey everybody, welcome back to another installment of Rockin' the Guitar with Karl. Since we last had a lesson here, I bought a new guitar. It's a 1973 Telecaster. Proud to show it off. It's not new, but it's new to me. And it's old, and old guitars are a good thing. This time we're going to be talking about one particular scale. We're going to take a break from the chords we've been working on for a while and go back to that later. And we're going to learn how to form a major scale, and we're going to play one. Well, the way you form a major scale is built again in whole steps and half steps, just like the chords we talked about a while back. If you remember, a whole step is distance between two frets. So from G to A is a whole step, and a half step is the distance between one fret. So from G to G sharp would be a half step. So the way you form a major scale is you take those whole steps and half steps and you form them into a certain combination. That combination is whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. So if we start on C, which is the most common key in music, and we build the scale off C, we start on C, whole step from C is D, whole step from D is E, half step from E is F, whole step from F is G, whole step from G is A, whole step from A is B, half step from B is C. And those are all the notes of the C major scale. If you play it on one string on the guitar, you'll see the relationship of half steps and whole steps. If you start on C, on the 8th fret of the low E string, you have C, whole step to D, whole step to E, half step to F, whole step to G, whole step to A, whole step to B, and a half step to C. And you can do that just to learn the relationship between half steps and whole steps and the notes in whatever scale that you want to play. But that limits you because you don't want to play on one string always. So, how do we play that scale on all the strings? Well, it's going to be a 2-octave scale, and it's going to go across the neck using all 6 strings. So here's how we play it. Let's do a review of the fingering now. First finger is 1, second finger is 2, 3, 4, and the thumb is 5. So you're going to take your second finger and you're going to place it on the 8th fret of the low E string for C. Your fourth finger, your pinky, is going to go on the 10th fret of the same string for a D. Now you're going to skip to the A string. Your first finger is going to go on the 7th fret of the A string for E. Your second finger is going to go on the 8th fret of the A string for F. And then your pinky is going to go on the 10th fret of the A string for G. Skip to the D string now, at the 4th string. First finger will go on the 7th fret for A. Your third finger now will go on the 9th fret for B. Your pinky will go on the 10th fret for C. Now there's your octave. C, that's your first octave we just played. Now we're going to begin the next octave. Your first finger will go on the 7th fret of the G string for D. Third finger again. This is the same formation on the G string that we just played on the D string. Third finger will go on the E, which is on the 9th fret. Pinky will go on the F, which is on the 10th fret. Now on the B string, the second string, you're going to play the same formation they did on the low E string. Second finger will go on the 8th fret for a G. Your pinky will go on the 10th fret for an A. Then you're going to skip to the high E string, and your first finger will play 7th fret B. Second finger is going to play 8th fret C. And that's the scale all the way up 2 octaves. Now you can also go a little bit further and put your pinky on the 10th fret of the E string for a D. Gives you another note there. So let's get that all the way through, up and down. And be sure when you're playing to make sure you stick to the up-down picking pattern for your right hand. That's the proper way you want to play that. And practice with the metronome. Set the metronome probably somewhere in the vicinity of 50 or 60 for the quarter note first. That's probably about half of what I just played it at. And then when you master that, you can play it perfectly at that speed. Increase it by a short increment, maybe 5 beats per minute or something like that, from 50 to 55 or 55 to 60 or something like that, or in that vicinity. And just keep working on it. Just keep playing, get the speed up. Don't worry about the speed when you first start playing. Just get the scale down first, and then once you get the scale down, then start working with the metronome, and then work on your speed once you master each speed level. And then once you have mastered the speed level, you can actually get to the point where you're playing with the scale and you're inventing your own licks and stuff like this. And there you go. That's our lesson in the major scale. Next time we meet, we'll talk about another form of the major scale. You'll be playing the same thing, but a little bit of a different finger formation. So, happy practicing, and I'll see you next time. Take care.